Why we need backup? Because sometimes if we get a downtime or any issue corrupting a particular data, so it will back up here. Okay, so 20 GB we will get it backup as a, and 20 GB SSD we will get, and it will running 750 hours free of cost. Okay, after that you have to pay for it. Now this will, you will get your server for your database. Now this database, if you want to running on some another web profile or anything, so we need a server, right? We need a domain. So this particular data will connect with this Amazon EC2 instances. Okay, now I'm taking one example. For example, you have a website, so your website data, right? For example, you're working on a Facebook, so Facebook will running on EC2, okay, and Facebook data on RDS. So this RDS data we want to also running in this EC2. Okay, so we need to connect both the things. So database getting online, it's a separate thing, and EC2 is will be separate thing. So remember one more thing, this server can be stopped. Okay, you can stop it, but this data you will not stop. Most of the company, the data server will they never stop. Why? Because the working of continue server they will can stop it because they don't require it. But working on data or something they need it, right? They need continuously to working on the data, so that's why they
So without
hardly
server, the
stop that.
data will work, is it? Without the server, the database will work?
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
will
if we
work
stop the
without.
server,
Yeah, it will work because server is different thing. Okay, server is like you working on Windows, my Linux operating system, right? So if you see here, you will see 750 per month Windows or something. Okay, so for example, you want to install something in particular Python or any website here, right? You want to install, because see what is actually server, you make a project in a local system, right? So it will run on local host something 8080 in your local system. You make a some project or website or anything, you make it. Now it's the same thing you want to run on somewhere, right? You want to run on a website. So how website will work? Same package, everything will be same, it will be just running on a cloud. So what I need a same operating system, right? If I'm working in my local system with Python 3, I need a Python 3 in server as well. If I'm working in my local system with particular Windows 10 or something, anything, whatever the OS requirement for that running a particular software, I need all those things to running the same thing on a particular system. So that is server actually. So what server give you? So either use Linux will be less cost, or Windows is the more cost. So you might be go in website, right? GoDaddy or these hosting. There are a lot of websites which provide you server. What they actually providing you? They're providing you hosting for your particular project. So for example, in your server, you install, you make a website with the basic requirement of whatever the OS required for that particular project. So what you do, same thing you need to push in that server. So you need an environment, right? You need Windows environment, you need Python environment, everything you need it to run your particular project. So that is a server. For database, you don't need those things. For those database, what you need? You need MySQL, that's it, and storage. So that thing you required, right? So that is things we have to do with the RDS. Now the difference between now you, if you go on a GoDaddy or any platform, you find server and hosting. There are two different things. Hosting is your data thing, and server is just running your project. So hosting is nothing. It's just empty without your server is nothing. It's empty. Without your hosting, it cannot work, because all your images of your websites or your particular data is where is storage stored in your particular RDS system.
so the
So
websites have
every,
only hosting, is it?
yeah, website
Or
is
they have
no
even
no
server? Like
no
GoDaddy, they
website.
have even server?
They have both the things actually. If you go in
Both
any
options.
platform,
Okay.
both the things. They have server as well, and this. If you go GoDaddy, let me show you everything. Okay, so if you go, why I'm telling you these all things, because you're working on Power very last stage. Okay, so you should know how your data is coming and how it working. I don't know what's your project it is, but mostly a lot of people work on such kind of project as a Power BI developer. They don't work on website development, like the website data. They're working on some specific data, right?
Yeah,
But
we
you
work
should
on
understand.
employee related data actually
Yeah.
for the
So I'm
company.
just giving, yeah. So that's why told you that very hardly people work on website data. I'm just giving an example how to work. If I go, you will find web hosting per month, like something this price, right? But if you go with the server, like let me domain, okay. So domain is your server things. If you go with the domain name, such let me give you some idea. So if I find some ABC or H something, if I give something, right? Now you see, so this domain means this server, they don't have this name actually, they have a server ID, IP address. Okay, so this will, I will get 49 rupees. Okay, for
Hmm.
first within 3 years means I have to pay something per month 49. It means something around 1200 something I have to pay for it for this particular name. Okay, This is just a IP address, means here my website will run. But hosting means all my data. Like if I go with this as well, but without hosting, I cannot do anything. So it doesn't matter. You can buy server. Some people say, no, you have to buy hosting and GoDaddy both at the same place. It's not required. You can buy
Hmm.
hosting from AWS, or you can buy hosting from BigRock or any other website also. Even same AWS as well. If you have RDS in AWS and your host like server something in Azure, it doesn't matter because you will get a specific IP
So you can have
address.
a cross connection and all.
Yeah, correct. You can connect it from
Okay.
here to here. You can connect it. So these things you can like the hosting things you need to connect with your server ID. The hosting things, again I'm repeating, the hosting things you need to connect with the server EC2, because here you will see your project and here you will see your data. So for example, you want to connect two different platform. For example, you buy hosting in a Big Rock and domain you buy in a GoDaddy. Okay, that's I'm just giving an example, and now you want to connect it. So you will get a unique identifications in a Big Rock for your hosting. So you need to connect with this EC2 instance. Okay, that's it, and it's done. So now you will get your data in particular server ID, and your data installing in that particular server of this. So for example, you want to work on a database, so you just need this particular. But if you're working complete thing, so you need both the things. Now this is something cloud. Okay, now you understood cloud how it work.
Ah, yes, yes. I have a basic understanding. Yes.
Okay,
What's about the other
now
ones below there? Or this compute,
this one.
machine learning?
Okay, so this is different actually.
These are like
Previously
add-ons, is it? I mean, AI or
previously they
something it
don't
is?
have I'm telling you. So
Mm-hmm.
previously they don't have this thing like same
Okay, okay.
Azure also don't have machine learnings. Now they come up with a SageMaker. So what right now if you see right, I have this Jupyter notebook, right? So machine learning operation I can implement here. So same way they also install this SageMaker and everything where you can implement your data analysis things.
What is
Okay,
that
so you,
Jupyter thing you just mentioned? Sorry.
Jupyter notebook. Okay, it's kind of IDE where I can easily implement my things like in a
It's
Python
IBM
programming.
specific, is it? Or
No, 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 no. It's a free of cost. You can go in Jupyter
okay,
Notebook
okay,
official website. Okay, but it's installed in a cloud actually. It's installed in a IBM cloud.
okay. So
So
you have to pay
same way,
for it, some license or something?
yeah, exactly. So even if you want
Okay,
to perform this thing right in a AWS, so you need to buy this Amazon SageMaker or Amazon Lambda. Then you have to install Jupyter Notebook into that. So that is the thing. So you might be
okay,
heard a
okay.
company called Databricks. So Databricks is a big company which is using those things, and they try to like they develop actually big data in PySpark. They develop it. Okay, and then they put it in a cloud. So what now company do, whatever they are taking it, they're taking directly from a Databricks. Okay, that's how they're taking it. But previously it is not like that. So what we have to do mostly like I'm talking about only specifically AWS. So what AWS does, you need to go this AWS Lambda, or now they put it this, you see now it's written new. Okay, previously it was not there. So what they
Mm-hmm.
do, you have to go with the AWS Lambda. In this AWS Lambda, you have to install a Jupyter notebook. If you see photographic taken, you will store in a S3 bucket. What is S3 bucket? It is kind of storage you will get. Okay, so for example, you have an Excel file. Okay, you need to install the Excel file in S3 bucket and you can call it here. Now you want to perform a machine learning algorithms. So what is machine learning algorithms here? Let me specifically mention it. Like they mention photograph. It's not like you can only install like a photo image into particular S3. You can install your audio, video, whatever the data you have, you can install. Like you can push it. But why they specifically mention this image data set or audio video data sets? Because machine learning is actually using for those things. Okay, for big unstructured data, for AI things, right? So that is why they come up with the solutions that rather doing the analysis with the SQL or a CSV file or XLS file or the other storage structure. If we someone want to do the analysis or anything, they want to train their model, so they can go with this machine learning. So what we need a Jupyter notebook for it, because Jupyter notebook give you very interactive things. At the same place you can write your code and you can see the output. The other IDE doesn't have this options, right? If I want to work on a VS code, so I don't have this option. I have to write whole code, and then I have to run whole code, then I can see my output. So that is why people using Jupyter notebook right now to make their ETL things easy. Okay, to run their code easily way. So Jupyter notebook is vastly used for ETL transformation for Spark SQL, Python, R programming, SQL, Spark SQL, Scala. So these things are usually used for the ETL things. and big data things, and as well as machine learning, AI, all those things are working on a Jupyter notebook. But again, Jupyter notebook is just for testing purpose. Okay, it just have the ID which give you the output, give an idea how it is working. What previously happened, if you want to run a code, you cannot do, like, you cannot get the output directly until you are not running a code.